Okay.
Sorry? Okay.
Okay, we try.
So first question will be, what's the Triumph's role for this country, Canada?
Triumph is the Center for Accelerator Development and Accelerator-Based Research in Canada.
Okay, so we're in regular operating retail hours,
예, 괜찮나요?
like Monday to Friday.
다시 갈게요.
Restart?
Till 3. RPG.
Restart.
Swipes.
The sounds will fine, so.
Hello?
It's the sound is okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I could
So-
contact them and be the middleman
So,
and let
continuing?
the day off to
그
like-
사인을 시작할 사인. What's the Triumph's role for this country, Canada? Yeah.
Triumph is the Center for Accelerator-Based Research in Canada. So scientists from across Canada come here to do development in accelerator-based activities. Also, scientists from around the world come to Triumph to do science experiments and to do collaborations in accelerator-based technology.
Okay, so you mean you can collaborate with other countries, like international people?
Exactly. We collaborate with countries all over the world.
Okay, cool. Okay, so can you briefly explain about the testing that the RISP requested to Triumph?
So, RISP has a project. They're making a new accelerator called Rayon. And the Rayon accelerator is superconducting. So that means it's a special technology where you take material, niobium, and you form it into structures that form high electric fields that accelerate the beam. This project is developing this technology for the last 3 years. They have companies inside of Korea that are now making these cavities after a long development, but they don't yet have a place to test them in Korea. So they're coming to Triumph to test the cavities and also to learn more about the technology. We have been developing this technology at Triumph since 2000.
So what's the key point of it? I mean, what advanced technology is it for the test that RISP requests?
Well, they want to, the technology is quite challenging.
Okay.
And so you have to be very careful at every stage of the fabrication process in order to make a good product. And because these resonators, these accelerating fields, are at the cutting edge of technology. So at the moment, they have not yet developed inside of Korea the steps to process the cavities to get the highest performance. So they come here in order to find out if the fabrication in Korea meets the performance they eventually want. So we take those cavities and we process them, developing the procedures we developed here, and then we find out if the cavities are good enough for their project.
So can you briefly explain about the really key point of the testing? The key point.
Well, the key points are, first of all, cryogenics. So all of these cavities, because they're superconducting, they have to be cooled to cryogenic temperature.
Okay.
That means we use liquid helium, cool them down to almost absolute zero. So that's one thing that we do to the cavities before we test them. And then we have testing devices, power supplies, low control systems in order to achieve this, in order to measure the quality of the performance of the cavity. So there's not just one key thing, there's just a number of key things that we have to put together here in order to test the cavity. And what Korea is looking for is that the cavity that they produced in Korean industry meets the specifications for their project. That means, is the superconductor the purest it can be? Is it performing with a very low surface resistance? This is a term of the quality. And to the field, to the high electric fields they need in order to accelerate the particles eventually.
Okay, so is it still processing?
Well, today what you saw the cavity being tested. So we've already finished the processing.
Okay.
And
so how are the results?
the results, so we've had a couple of cavities now from Korea, and the results are very good.
Okay.
So it's very encouraging that already they're meeting the standards that are needed by the project.
Cool.
And so we just want to complete a number of different tests in order to try different types of processing to optimize the procedure.
Okay. So can can I ask what the meaning of testing, I mean collaborating with the RISP for you? What's the
For
meaning?
us, so we are a global partner.
Right.
We're interested in scientific exchange. Korea has an exciting project, the Rayon project. It's going to be ongoing for the next several years, and we want to be part of a collaborative team, part of the collaborative network in the world to support SRF technology, superconducting RF technology, and because we have developed our expertise here, we want to share that expertise.
Okay. So that's pretty much it.
아까 말한 대로 뭐 여기 어디 소속이라고 다 물어봤어요.
소속이냐고.
여기
네,
연구소가,
아까 얘기하다고 물어봤어요.
그러면 그밖에 뭐 하고 싶은 말이 있는지 혹시 이번 실험이나 아니면 뭐 일반 주로 보는 게 한국 사람이나 한국 커뮤니티니까 뭐 관련해서 하고 싶은 말이 있는지.
뭐 한국 팀 얘기야?
아니야 그냥 아무튼 커뮤니티가 아니라 아무튼 뭐 그냥 하고 싶은 말이 뭐가 있는지 물어봐요.
Do you expect anything to Korean Team Korean here?
Do we have do we have members from the Korean team here?
Or
Yeah.
just your expectation for any like international teams or more well Korean people here? What
I'm
are
sorry, I didn't understand the question.
how do you expect for the Korean?
RF.
I mean, you guys collaborated with many countries people, right?
Yes.
But what's your expectations for those people who collaborate with your Triumph?
In what way? Expectations in what way?
Like testing or anything.
뭐
Any
하셔도 좋아.
expectations, yeah.
이게 마무리라고 하고 싶은 말 있으면 하시라고.
Actually, it's pretty much ends. So, just ask about. Do you have something to say to Korean people, or I mean, Korean people is like RISP, like
Mhm.
RISP people.
Mhm.
Do you have anything to say to them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Yeah.
So, I
It's just
mean,
last questions, yeah.
the good news is the two cavities that we've received so far from RISP.
Yeah, the
um,
results are so good. So
The results are very good.
Yeah.
And so that's good to see, and it must be I know the Korean colleagues are very relieved
right.
because they have a big project ahead of them, and so these early results are a really good sign that the industry of Korea is now learning this technology. And so as far as our relationship with the RISP, we hope that it continues through the life of the project. We think it's important for us also to be involved in this important project, and it's a fun, interesting project.
Cool.
이제 사진을 찍겠다고 여기 배경으로
Okay.
받쳐놓고 사진을
Thank you so much.
우선 단독으로 사진을 찍고
Can you get a picture?